Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is the WWE Raw post show for Monday, March 15th, 2021. Tonight on the show, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre official for Wrestlemania. Asuka is back, and the New Day are once again your tag team champions. Let's go! Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Super Dave, Big Dave, right here with you. How we doing? How's everything going? Shout out to all my friends, everybody on the chat, all the members, Doug Hepburn, I see you. Angelo Contagonis, I see you. Lauren Cronish, Mako8033. Shout out to everybody watching right now. We appreciate you. There goes the music. Music just died there. Usually music, I like my music to fade. My music just killed out there. That's okay, though. The production team is on it. I think that music was supposed to be gone at this point. How we doing? Did you like Raw? Was it a good Raw tonight? I thought it was okay. I didn't hate Raw. And no Johnny North. I see Mako wants to know where Johnny is. No Johnny tonight. Usually my man Johnny North, who's a great professional wrestler himself, he usually joins me on the show, but not Monday nights. Johnny's with me on Wednesday nights and on Friday nights. Of course, we break down Dynamite every Wednesday, SmackDown every Friday. Johnny's with me for those shows. Raw ends a little too late for Big Johnny. A little too late. So we're here. I'm here. The whole Ringside Report Universe is here. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Become a member. Become a member of the channel on the YouTube channel. You can also go to donate.ringsidereport.net. Donate.ringsidereport.net. Become a member. Support the team. Go to merch.ringsidereport.net to get some of this cool merch. Look at that. Boom. That's the MMA team. Myself, Freddie, and AJ. Of course, we're on every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Go to merch.ringsidereport.net to check out our merch, and you could watch us every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for Ringside Report, the MMA show. We're here to talk about Monday Night Raw and everything that went down. I thought Raw was okay tonight. I really didn't hate the show. There was a lot of news coming out of the show. It was very eventful. Compared to last week's Raw that was totally uneventful, felt like nothing happened out of the show. This week, stuff happened. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, official for WrestleMania. AJ Styles versus Omos, not versus, but AJ and Omos are now going to challenge New Day, who are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. That's happening at Mania. Doesn't really make sense. We'll talk about that. New Day, of course, are the Tag Team Champions once again. They won them tonight. Asuka came back. May have turned heel. I'm not really sure if you can turn heel on a heel. Try to make sense out of Asuka's post-match attack on Shayna Baszler tonight. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus added to Fastlane. So Raw added a bunch of matches to Fastlane for no particular reason. Drew versus Sheamus. Braun versus Shane. Did you know that was happening at Fastlane? You saw the Shane McMahon slime attack. Yeah, green slime. That's what they did tonight. Green slime on Raw. Starting to take back my Raw was good tonight thought, because they did do green slime, so I don't know. Bad Bunny gave a 24/7 title back to R-Truth. Just gave it back. Alexa Bliss is going to wrestle Randy Orton at Fastlane, but we all know how that's going to go, right? So a lot of stuff came out of tonight's show. A lot of news coming out of the WWE tonight. Shout out to all the members. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you guys talking about the curfew. You guys are sick of the curfew. A lot of guys living in Montreal and Quebec, like I am, living under a curfew right now because of COVID. A lot of people tired of it. I'm tired of it. But hey, we're here to have some fun. We're not here to be miserable about the curfew and all that stuff, right? God damn. It's easy to be brought down by that stuff, but I'm just trying to have a little fun here in the pro wrestling side, all right, guys? Forget all that other stuff. Forget that fear-mongering that everybody else is doing here. I'm here to talk to you about professional wrestling. God, where to start, right? Let's start at the top of the show. So they make Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley official for WrestleMania before the show even starts. Why? Did Drew win a match to qualify? Did Drew become number one contender somehow that I missed? I understand that Drew lost the championship in a screwy fashion, right? Drew retained his title in Elimination Chamber, and then afterwards, Miz attacked him. Or no, Bobby Lashley attacked him, and then Miz came in and cashed in Money in the Bank, and that's how Drew lost the title. Drew never got his match against The Miz because Bobby stepped in and said, "Oh, Miz, I helped you win the title, so you have to give me a title shot." And then Miz, for some reason, got caught up in that, dropped the title to Bobby a couple weeks ago on Raw. Now, Drew, after last week having a no contest with Sheamus, I know that he beat Sheamus a few weeks ago, but last week he had a match with Sheamus that went to a no contest when they got double knocked out. This week, before the show even goes on the air, they tell you, Drew versus Bobby at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. As if we're supposed to be hyped about that. Right? Like, who wants to see that? Is that a box office match for WrestleMania? Tell me that it is. And tell me why. Are these guys mega stars in professional wrestling? Are these guys drawing money for the WWE? Please tell me that they are. Bobby Lashley's like 45 years old. When has he been a bankable star for the WWE? Drew McIntyre, I mean. The jury's out on him. He was a champion during COVID, so who knows if he could draw money, right? It doesn't really matter. But these are your guys. These are your guys. Who is asking for this title match at WrestleMania? Drew versus Bobby. Who wanted to see that? I didn't want to see that. I don't want to see Drew versus Bobby. But that's what they gave us, right? So no Brock Lesnar. Forget about Brock Lesnar versus Bobby. That's your match, right? That's the dream match that the fans wanted. Not happening. No Brock at Mania, apparently, right? No Brock. So instead what we have is Drew versus Bobby that they announced before the show even starts. Why did they announce it before the show started? I have no idea. I have no idea. Why didn't Drew have to beat Sheamus at Fastlane to earn a title shot at WrestleMania? Couldn't we have done that? It would have been much simpler, much smarter, and much better for Fastlane, and much better for Mania, quite frankly, if the Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus match that's coming up this Sunday at Fastlane was for a title shot against Bobby Lashley. Why didn't they do that? It's simple. It's very simple. But instead, they just give Drew a title match. He has a no contest with Sheamus last week, earns nothing. Before the show even starts tonight, they announce on Twitter, Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley is your WrestleMania WWE title match. So MVP comes out and cuts a promo about, Bobby and Drew at WrestleMania. Why? So why am I watching Bobby versus Drew against Sheamus at Fastlane? What's on the line there? So nothing's on the line in that match, right? Drew is obviously going to win because, Bobby just beat Sheamus tonight in the main event of Raw, so how does it look if Drew loses to Sheamus? That's the only way they can save the logic of this thing is by having Sheamus beat Drew and somehow insert himself into the title match at Mania, which is not happening, by the way. It's not happening because the WWE and logic, forget about it. So Sheamus is obviously the guy that's going to job to Drew. He jobbed to Bobby, and there's no point in having him wrestle Drew again in Fastlane. Why are we watching this match? We know it's Drew versus Bobby at Mania. What's the point of Drew versus Sheamus at Fastlane this Sunday in a match that we've seen on Raw a bunch of times? A couple weeks ago, Drew had a great match with Sheamus, beat him clean, middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. We're done with it. We're done. Last week, they bring it back. They're like, let's do a rematch. Why? They do a rematch. They hit each other in the head with stairs. They both have concussions, apparently. Yet they're wrestling this Sunday at Fastlane against each other again for nothing. Nothing on the line. Why? Why do we need to watch this? They should have said, inconclusive finish, Raw last week. You guys don't wrestle tonight. On Sunday, you wrestle each other. Winner faces Bobby at Mania. Then next Monday, you come out and start the Drew Bobby program to Mania. Why did you have to start it a week earlier when you have a pay-per-view in between that you're trying to sell and you have a match with Drew and Sheamus that you just threw on there? It wasn't booked on Raw tonight. It was booked on Twitter. Because that's how they do things when they're too lazy to come up with a real way to book a match, a real way to book an angle. They just say, oh, let's make it on Twitter. Did Adam Pearce book it on Twitter? Did the WWE Twitter account book it? Who's booking this shit? Right? Who booked this shit? Is it the anonymous Raw GM? Like, what's going on here? So, Drew versus Sheamus at Fastlane is not anything anybody needs to see. And it's leading up to a Drew versus Bobby match that, again, I don't think anybody needs to see. I'm not interested in that. Is that going to be the best match at WrestleMania either night? Hell no. Are people going to be tuning into WrestleMania to see that? Maybe some of Bobby Lashley's family members, like Lashley's sisters or whatever, and some people in Scotland for Drew. Are people around the world anticipating the big hot match of Drew versus Bobby at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship? I would not care about this match being at WrestleMania if it were not for the WWE Championship. Historically, the WWE title match at WrestleMania means something, right? You think about the history of WrestleMania, the history of the WWE Championship. You think about the Michaels, Austin. You think about Hogan, Andre. You think about the big WWF title matches at WrestleMania. The biggest title in wrestling, the biggest show of the year. What are we doing? Drew and Bobby. The Battle of Impact Wrestling World Champions. Hey, it's two guys that, what's the angle here, by the way? What's the angle? We were, not looked at as top stars for a really long time. Then we went to Impact and we became world champions. We came back to WWE and now look at us. We're champions now, Bobby. Isn't it great? By the way, that's Drew McIntyre's promo every time, which I'm tired of. The Drew McIntyre, oh, I respect you so much, Bobby. You're such a great guy. We come from the same place. We're going to have a hell of a fight at WrestleMania, but I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to make you my bitch. And he says that shit to everybody. Sheamus, I respect you. You're my good friend. I think you're the best. You're such a good fella. We're going to go have some pints after this. Our fight's going to be so brutal, but I'm going to beat the hell out of you at Fastlane. We're going to have a great fight. We're going to tear the house down, but I'm going to win because I'm Drew McIntyre. That's every promo. He showed way too much respect to Bobby. MVP and Bobby are in the ring. Bobby stumbling through his words. He says he's going to destroy Drew at WrestleMania. It's now the almighty era. Really struggled to say his new catchphrase. Doesn't bode well. It's good he's got MVP with him to do the talking, because Bobby by himself on the mic, oof, Never been his strong suit. That's why it took him, 16 years to become a world champion. Look at the guy. Legit as all hell. He's got the look. He's got everything going for him. What's missing? Saw it tonight. Bobby no Taki. Miz and John Morrison show up. They were making fun of Bobby a little bit about the talking. Miz can, throw some words together at least. He's not entertaining. He's hokey as all hell, but at least he can put a sentence together without stumbling. But he looks like trash. I mean, I'd much rather Bobby Lashley as champion, right? Like, Miz is terrible. Goddamn, Miz is bad. He had a horrible match tonight. Miz and Morrison start talking about Bobby. They congratulate him. But Miz is like, I want to take Drew McIntyre's spot at WrestleMania. Give me the title shot. And then Drew McIntyre shows up, and he's like, Miz, what the hell are you doing here? And Drew does this whole thing about how much he respects Lashley. And then we have Drew kind of getting into Lashley's face. But he says he's going to make Lashley his bitch. Bobby didn't like that. Attacked Drew McIntyre. Bobby starts leaving, goes up the ramp. Sheamus attacks Bobby because, of course, Sheamus is wrestling Bobby in the main event tonight. A battle between two heels for no apparent reason. Right? Was there a reason for the match tonight? They're two heels. Why are they wrestling each other? Why? Drew beat Miz. That was the match. Sheamus was interviewed before this match. He says he wants Drew to be 100% on Sunday at Fastlane. He says he's going to beat Bobby Lashley tonight to show Drew what he can't do at WrestleMania, which is beat Bobby Lashley. Sheamus' promo was confused as all hell, too. He seemed a little lost. Drew McIntyre beats The Miz. Long match. Miz doesn't do anything. Miz likes to talk about how hard he works, for the company. How about working a little harder in the ring? How about that? I would appreciate that. Because the match tonight was not so good. Not so good. Drew wins. Drew hits his Claymore kick, then applies the Hurt Lock, which is Bobby's. It's a full Nelson. Okay, puts a full or the Master Lock, if you like, right? Chris Masters fans out there. Bobby puts a full Nelson on the Miz. Makes him tap, just like Bobby did to show Bobby, hey, I could beat The Miz too with your move. Great. That was not the match of the night. Honestly, I thought we had good wrestling. The promos were garbage tonight, but the wrestling was very good. The stories made no sense. But again, that's the WWE. They have very talented wrestlers, but the writing and it's mostly the writing that's just awful. And the stories, the booking of the show is just confusing. The wrestlers are good, not Miz, but other wrestlers. Drew's okay at times, Braun Strowman could be okay sometimes, but, sometimes he has to wrestle Shane McMahon. So what are you going to do? Shane's 50. Braun Strowman's in the middle of the ring. We come back from commercial and Braun is mid-promo. Did you catch that? What the hell's going on there? A lot of screw-ups in WWE tonight from the production department. Like the directing or whoever's running the show, they missed a big spot with Bad Bunny, too, later on. They just totally missed Miz hitting him in the back with a guitar. It's awful. And here, we come back from commercial, and Braun Strowman is in the middle of a promo. And he's like, Shane McMahon, get out here now. And it's like, well, were you saying some things before that, Braun? What happened? Shane comes out, and he's like, oh, Braun, why are you being so hostile? And Braun's like, I've been bullied by guys like you my whole life. Rich guys who went to Ivy League schools and made fun of me saying I was stupid. I'm not stupid. And then Shane's like, I would never make fun of another man, Braun Strowman. What are you talking about? And Braun says Shane wanted to confront him last week, but Shane got scared, and that's why he was stumbling through his promo. So the WWE realized how terrible that Shane McMahon promo was last week. And they knew that they had to address it with Braun Strowman saying something about it last week. They had to cover for Shane being either high, drunk, flat out confused, forgetting his lines, sweaty, experiencing some sort of medical episode. I don't know what the hell was going on with Shane last week, but he seemed fucked up. And that promo was a total mess. So Braun was like, oh, you were scared of me last week, Shane, and that's why you couldn't get your words out, and that's why you came out and you didn't say what you had to say to me. Because you wanted to confront me, but you're scared to confront me. So I challenge you to a match right now, Shane. And then Shane goes, oh, Braun, you couldn't handle me. You really are stupid. You fell out of the stupid tree and hit every branch. You're so dumb. He makes fun of his accent. He goes on and on about how stupid he thinks Braun is at this point. And then Braun gets really mad, and he's like, why don't you shut up and accept the match and fight me? And Shane's like, okay, you're on. So now we're going to have a Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman match at some point. Which we could skip to, because we just talked about the promo. Let's skip to the match. Let's do that nonsense right now. Right? Because if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't see it, Braun Strowman comes to the ring for a match. Shane McMahon, he's ringside, and he's got a microphone, and he's doing push-ups, and he's warming up for the match. And Shane says, hey, Braun, you were talking about the schoolyard and being bullied, so I brought some hopscotch ringside. And he's got this whole hopscotch thing set up ringside. What the hell was that? That was weird. I mean, it wasn't even dumb. It was just like, why? You're trying to recreate like a schoolyard? What is this story? Braun was bullied by guys like Shane when he was younger? They made fun of him for his accent? Like, Shane's... It doesn't make sense. Everybody that grew up around Braun, you would think, had a similar accent. Wouldn't make fun of him for that. I mean, maybe he grew up around some rich guys that made fun of him for being stupid. I don't know. But it's very strange. Shane reminds Braun of the bullies that he had encountered in his life. And Shane really does think Braun is stupid, and he does talk shit about him behind his back, telling other people that he's stupid, and that's why Braun is mad, because he found out about it, and now it's on for WrestleMania? It's just... It's grasping, trying to find a reason to book Shane versus Braun at WrestleMania. Because you have Shane over here doing nothing, and you want to do something with Shane because he's one of your only stars from the 90s that you could still bring back, I guess. And Braun, I guess you want to do something with because he's one of your guys. He did beat Goldberg last year at WrestleMania, so you might want to do something with him this year. But goddamn, this is the best they could come up with. So Shane doesn't want to do the match. He runs around and makes fun of Braun. Braun chases him, catches him, roughs him up a bit. Braun hits a boot, and Shane stumbled backwards. It looked like he was expecting to hit the barricade a lot earlier than he did. You could see him kind of fall down and then like, and then keep going backwards into the barricade. Didn't know quite where he was there. Braun goes to run around the ring, which is great, right? He beats up Shane a little bit, and then he does a full lap around the ring to do his, shoulder tackle, which he has done to people and pulled off. Not this time. Shane grabs the camera from the cameraman, hits Braun with the TV camera, hits him with the camera a bunch of times, sets him up on the announce table, goes to the top rope, and does an elbow drop from the top rope through the announce table onto Braun. And that's not all. So Braun's down, and Shane decides it's going to add insult to injury. He goes under the ring for a bucket of green slime that I think was left over from DX, right? Didn't they slime Vince and Shane at some point? DX slimed Vince and Shane, right? I'm pretty sure Shane has been slimed before. So Shane grabs the bucket of green paint, slime, whatever the hell it was, slimes Braun Strowman, yells at him, berates him, goes under the ring, yet another bucket, and now this is just... The cleanup job of this must have been really tough. There was a lot of this slime, like just ringside near the announce table. I don't know what they did. Like, were the announcers still there afterwards? I guess so. How'd they clean that up so fast? What'd they do? They shop vac it? They mop it up? What did they do to clean that stuff up? Anyways, he dumped another bucket on Braun Strowman. Braun is just like swimming in this stuff at this point. It's all in his beard. The shower for Braun must have been really annoying afterwards. I can't imagine that was fun. Shane got some of it on him as well, right? And Shane's like yelling at Braun, "You're so stupid, Braun. You're so stupid." Really embarrassing for Shane, for Braun, for us watching. Just totally embarrassing. Awful stuff. Green slime. Green slime. That's what we're doing. Shane got slimed, right? Shane McMahon, DX slime. I'm pretty sure he got slimed. Yeah. Oh, they poured slime on the Spirit Squad. Maybe they didn't slime Shane. Maybe it was just the Spirit Squad. Yeah, maybe it was just the Spirit Squad. DX definitely green slimed some people. But I guess it wasn't Shane and Vince. It was Dolph and his friends. The Spirit Squad. The cheerleader team. If you guys aren't longtime wrestling fans, I mean, you didn't miss much. That was some awful, awful shit. It was really bad. I think that whole angle culminated in Shawn and Hunter literally shoving Vince McMahon's face up Big Show's ass in like a Hell in a Cell match. Right? It was Big Show was in that match, and Hunter and Shawn grabbed Vince's head. They lowered Big Show's trunks, and Big Show's gigantic ass, somehow Vince's head looked like it disappeared in his ass. And that was really the kind of peak of the new DX that they did there in the early 2000s. I guess late 2000s, I don't know, 2007, 2008-ish, I guess. The Vince Loves Cock stuff, all that stuff. Green slime, that's what it reminded me of. That awful DX humor that wasn't funny to anybody. And now we're doing it again. But I think it was supposed to be serious tonight, right? Like Shane was supposed to be really embarrassing Braun with the green slime. What the fuck is this? What are we watching here? It was truly embarrassing. Truly embarrassing, really. I did not like it. Can you tell? I thought it was garbage. Fucking green slime on Braun Strowman. And you know that match is official for WrestleMania, right? Shane and... Or I guess it's official for Fastlane. Right? They did make it... Apparently it's on Fastlane. Shane versus Braun one-on-one. The rematch from Raw that never really happened is going to happen at Fastlane. I don't think it's really going to go down at Fastlane. I think they do some sort of match at Mania, right? This is too big of an angle to waste for just Fastlane. Whatever happens at Fastlane, they'll continue the story to lead to the payoff match at WrestleMania, paying off this terrible, terrible story from the WWE. Goddamn slap together this WrestleMania. What do we got for the WWE title? I don't know, Drew and Bobby, I guess. We got Brock. No Brock. We got Taker. No Taker. How about Triple H or like Batista, Cena, something? No. None of those guys. So Bobby and Drew. Yep. How about Edge? Oh, he's wrestling Roman. Oh, yeah. How about Christian? No. He went to... Oh, that's right. That's right. I mean, Christian versus Drew or Bobby would be fun too, right? But Christian versus Kenny Omega, I think, is going to be better than anything we ever see at WrestleMania this year, right? What would you rather see, Edge versus Roman or Christian versus Kenny? I think Christian came out on the winning end of that whole deal, right? Like, wrestling Roman at WrestleMania is a pretty big deal, but wrestling Kenny Omega is kind of like more fun for me, wrestling fans. I don't know. God damn. Drew, Bobby, Braun, Shane. That looks official for WrestleMania. You know what else is official for WrestleMania? AJ Styles and Omos versus the New Day for the Tag Team Championship, the Raw Tag Team titles. So New Day beat Shelton and what's his name? Cedric Alexander to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Woods took him a while to get to the top rope there at the end of the match. I don't know what was going on, but they hit their finisher. Kofi hit a beautiful Hurricane Rana off the top rope. Amazing stuff on Shelton. That match was very, very good. I thought that was a solid wrestling match. One of the better matches on the show tonight. Might have been match of the night. I think it was. I'd say that was the match of the night. It was really good stuff. 4 guys that can work. Believable match. It was given a good amount of time. And we saw a title change. I think it's a little dumb that New Day lost the tag team titles to these guys a few months ago and now takes them back. It just proves my point that they should have never lost the tag team titles. There was no real point to it. They had this mini feud with Retribution that just kind of went nowhere. They could have kept the tag team titles this whole time and made their reign mean something, but now it's just, New Day's tag team champs again. And what are they going to do? Face AJ and Omos, who are not even a tag team. So Shelton and Woods and Kofi beat Shelton and Cedric, and then AJ and Omos show up for the post-match celebration there. New Day celebrating their tag team title victory. AJ's like, my bucket list is getting low. I'm getting rid of all the things that I have left to accomplish in the WWE, and my buddy Omos here, who is kind of like my little brother, he had the idea of becoming Raw Tag Team Champions. So he challenges New Day to the tag team titles for a WrestleMania match. Not at Fastlane, right? There's a pay-per-view on Sunday. AJ's like, fuck Fastlane. Let's just have a match at Mania. If he wants to be tag team champions, why doesn't he want to wrestle at Fastlane? This is not high profile enough for AJ. Even AJ recognizes, there's no point of being in Fastlane. Fastlane's kind of dumb, right? Let's just wrestle at Mania, guys. And New Day's like, okay. Despite the fact that Omos has not wrestled a single match in the WWE, that AJ Styles and Omos are not a tag team, they've never teamed together, they, for some reason, are getting the Raw Tag Team title shot at WrestleMania. Shelton and Cedric, former champs, they beat the New Day to win the titles, lose to the New Day to drop the titles. They're not number 1 contenders? AJ Styles and Omos, who's never wrestled before, they're the number 1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team titles. Really? Okay. If that's what you want to do. I see Doug Hepburn saying, 11-time champs, baby. I agree. I'm happy to see New Day become champions, but by God. I see Angelo says Christian versus Kenny. That's the match. Yeah, exactly. More than Edge versus Roman. Bob Cote doesn't like having a pay-per-view in mid-March. I agree. I think Fastlane is pointless. Especially now. Fastlane has a point when you're going to use it to build something for Mania. What are they building for Mania at Fastlane? I guess the Roman Bryan thing. They're building Edge. They're trying to build Edge and Roman further. Depends how that goes. I'm still hoping that Bryan gets inserted in that match at Mania. Edge, Bryan, Roman, or Bryan Edge on one night and Roman Edge on the other night. Something like that for WrestleMania. It's 2 nights. Why not? So that match on Sunday is going to be Edge or Jey Uso as a special guest enforcer in the Universal title match between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. And Edge is going to wrestle on SmackDown Friday night, and the winner of that match is going to be the enforcer. We're going to preview WWE Fastlane coming up Friday night, 10 p.m. right after SmackDown, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after SmackDown here, Wrestling Uncensored. Friday night, 10 p.m., we'll preview WWE Fastlane, give you our picks for the whole show. But they're really not building much for Mania. Braun versus Shane. Okay, that'll be a building block for Mania, which kind of sucks going into the pay-per-view because this is just going to be an angle for the next pay-per-view. Speaking of angles for the next pay-per-view, Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton was booked tonight. But I feel like the backstage interviewer, Sarah Schreiber, was the only one who decided that there was a match. Did Alexa Bliss actually challenge Randy Orton for a match in her promo? She hosts her Alexa's Playground thing in the backstage ring. Alexa says if Randy wants her out of her life so badly, he's going to have to take her out of it. So, Randy, if you want me out of your life, you got to take me out. And this Sunday at Fastlane is your chance, Randy. And then she asks if Randy's going to do it, and then she starts laughing. So I guess that was a challenge, but it didn't seem like a challenge to a match. It just seemed like, hey, Randy, I'm going to be at Fastlane. Why don't you come do something about it? And then the backstage interviewer later on interviews Randy, and she's like, Randy, what do you think about Alexa challenging you to a match at Fastlane? And Randy's like, I don't know if that's what's happening, but I'm going to kick her out of my life at Fastlane. I accept. It was really weird. I don't think there's going to be a match, but obviously you know what's going to happen, right? Everybody knows what's going to happen. The Fiend is going to come back here. This is when The Fiend comes back. It's obvious. They've been doing this stupid angle for so long. No black stuff came out of Randy's mouth tonight, at least. But goddamn, I mean, they've been milking this thing for so long. You know they're milking it for a match of Mania between The Fiend and Randy. We haven't seen The Fiend since Randy burned him alive. And Alexa's been doing these, tricks with Randy. They've been doing this whole angle for what feels like months now. And at Fastlane, they're going to have Randy putting Alexa in some kind of danger. And who's going to save her? The Fiend. Setting up The Fiend versus Randy in some sort of Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania, which everybody has known is happening for months now. We've known this. Just skip to the end. Get to the point. We don't even want to see this thing. Another match they've been building forever. They act like we don't know what's going to happen next when it's plain to see. And the end result is this match that I don't know who really is here for. A Firefly Funhouse cinematic match between Bray and Randy. Like, we need to see that again. So that's happening. That happened tonight. Alexa and Randy. What else happened on Raw tonight? Nia Jax and Shayna come out to do commentary. Reginald is not there. Apparently, there's an NXT COVID outbreak. Like a bunch of people in NXT have COVID, and it could affect their TV this week, and a lot of their talent has COVID. So Reginald, who you would assume is spending a lot of time around this NXT talent because he's learning to be a wrestler, because he's clearly not a wrestler yet, Reginald not on TV when he was heavily featured last week on Raw and SmackDown with this new Nia Jax thing. I mean, we had a Reginald fashion show on SmackDown. The fact that Reggie wasn't on TV tonight makes me wonder, does Reggie have the Rona? I think Reggie's got the Rona. We pray for a speedy recovery for Reggie the sommelier. Also, Carmella's looking for a new sommelier, apparently. And she's taking applications. I mean, shouldn't Billie Kay be in there? Anyways, that's another SmackDown story. So Nia and Shayna come out to do commentary. No Reggie. They're doing commentary for Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke getting the win over Lana and Naomi. Dana hit a spinning neckbreaker on Lana for the win. It was what you would expect from Mandy and Dana versus Lana and Naomi. I'll admit, I was half paying attention to this match because, come on. I was listening to Nia and Shayna on commentary a little bit more. They were pretty good. Asuka showed up during the match. I was excited to see Asuka. And Shayna went to attack her. And Asuka just whooped her ass. Took nothing from Shayna. Threw a kick. That was pretty good to see Asuka back. So Asuka's back. There was a lot of talk that Asuka wouldn't be at WrestleMania. That Asuka wouldn't be around. That Asuka, was going to drop the Raw Women's title. But Asuka shows up tonight. And you know who wasn't on Raw tonight? Charlotte Flair. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird that last week news breaks that her fiancé Andrade asks for his release from the WWE, and this week, Monday Night Raw, 4 weeks away from WrestleMania, Charlotte Flair missing in action. Where's Charlotte at? What's going on? I smell trouble. I smell big trouble. I mean, Andrade, her fiance asked for his release last week. She's not on TV tonight. I understand Asuka was on TV. Maybe you don't want to overdo it, but you don't have one little promo from Charlotte? Well, you're probably building towards Asuka versus Charlotte at Mania, right? Everybody thinks that's the match. Where's Charlotte? Where's Charlotte Flair? I see Bob Cote says Charlotte's on the WrestleMania poster. That doesn't mean shit. They put that WrestleMania poster out, what? Yesterday? Today? Who knows? Charlotte could have showed up to TV today and said, I'm not fucking happy. Release him or release me. Who knows? The fact that she wasn't on TV tonight is suspicious after her fiance asked for his release last week. If you think that's not suspicious, that's okay. That's okay by me. That's on you. I'm telling you it's suspicious. This is Charlotte Flair 4 weeks out from WrestleMania. Not on Raw. Why? If this were any other time and Charlotte wasn't on Raw, I wouldn't think about it. I wouldn't raise a flag and say, oh, maybe that's weird. But because her fiance asked for his release last week, now she's not on TV? And Asuka's back? And I thought we were building towards a program between Asuka and Charlotte for Mania. Now Charlotte's not here? Where's Charlotte at? Suspicious. Suspicious. And if you start hearing things in the next few days, don't forget, Dave told you first. Dave sees these things. That's me, I'm Dave. Okay? Just in case you were wondering. Asuka she had a match with Shayna. And it was pretty cool. I liked it. It was definitely in the discussion for match of the night tonight, right? I think the tag team title match, probably my favorite. This one was good. You know, Asuka, Shayna, Riddle, and Mustapha Ali for the U.S. title was also very good. Even Bobby and Sheamus, you know, that was all right. Not the best, but I would definitely put Asuka and Shayna second on the best matches of the night, and Riddle and Mustapha third. I'd stick with the tag team title match. I thought that was the best. Kofi and Woods against Cedric and Shelton, that was my match of the night. If you guys watch Raw, feel free to drop in your match of the night on the chat. I always appreciate your thoughts. Want to know what you guys thought was the best match. I thought the tag team title match was the best, but I liked Asuka Shayna too. Asuka pins Shayna, similar to how Becky beat her last year Mania? Becky Shayna? Yeah, right? Last year at Mania, when Becky pinned Shayna, she reversed out of the Karafuda clutch and pinned her. Asuka did the same thing tonight. Shayna held on to the choke after the match, tried to attack Asuka, but Asuka just whooped her ass. You've never seen Shayna get beat up like this. Shayna on the defensive, Shayna looking vulnerable. You've never seen Shayna Baszler look like this in the WWE. Asuka turned. Asuka beat her up pretty good during the match, curb stomped her into the turnbuckle after the match, and then she took Shayna's mouth guard out of her mouth, took the turnbuckle pad off the turnbuckle, put Shayna's face on the exposed buckle, pressed down on it with her foot, on her head to the buckle with her foot, and she was going to curb stomp Shayna's teeth right on the buckle because Asuka wanted revenge, of course, from Shayna because Shayna was the one that put Asuka out a few weeks ago, kicking her in the face, accidentally knocking a tooth out, causing a concussion. Asuka coming back in this match, showing fire. Showing real fire. Trying to knock Shayna's teeth out. So much so that when she was going to curb stomp Shayna on the corner there, the exposed buckle, the referee had to step in and stop her from doing it and save Shayna, who's a heel. But Asuka was like more heel. Or was she? Was this Asuka getting revenge or Asuka turning heel? I'm still not sure. And until we see Asuka interact with baby faces, it won't be clear. I'm not sure if Asuka's a heel or Asuka just attacked Shayna real hard because she's violent and she wanted revenge and she's a badass. I'm not sure. Because, you know, if you put, say, Stone Cold in the same situation, if Stone Cold got his tooth knocked out and he came back 3 weeks later, you can bet he would try to knock his opponent's tooth out, and he might almost do it, but the referee might have to stop him. The only difference with Asuka and Stone Cold is, you know, Stone Cold probably would have hit the referee with a stunner for getting in the way. But, you know, it was kind of like a Stone Cold Asuka thing to do. Like if you put Asuka in the same type of, you know, badass babyface role, I don't know if it's a heel move. She starts doing that to babyface. She does that to Mandy Rose or Dana Brooke. Then she's a heel. She starts bullying people like that, but when she does it to Shayna, it's like, God damn, Asuka's just a badass. So I was intrigued by that whole segment. I thought the match was good. I thought the post-match beatdown was very interesting. The fact that Charlotte is not on Raw, also interesting. A lot of people saying tag team was the match of the night. Tag title match was the match of the night. I like it. A lot of people saying tag title match of the night. DJ Bourne says Asuka versus Shayna at WrestleMania maybe. I don't know, man. After what we just saw tonight, Asuka won clean. I don't really see why. I think Shayna and Nia are going to defend their tag team titles at WrestleMania. I think that's how it's going to go. That's how I think it's going to go. No Charlotte tonight, though. Weird. and Asuka isn't booked on Sunday. What's up with that? There's nobody on Raw for Asuka to wrestle? I mean, I guess there isn't, right? Who's there? Who's in the Raw women's division? Where's Peyton Royce? Couldn't Peyton Royce get a shot at Asuka? She cut a big promo on like Raw Talk last week. There's some buzz around Peyton Royce. She's still on Raw. She's like the only one left. Charlotte wasn't on the show tonight. Lacey's pregnant. Dana and Mandy are in the tag team division. So are Lana and Naomi, apparently. Nia and Shayna are the tag team champions. You look at the Raw roster. Who's left? Peyton. Why not do Peyton Asuka at Fastlane on the pre-show? Or not, you know. Alexa could be involved, but she's wrestling Randy Orton apparently at Fastlane. So, you know, she can't do anything in the women's division. She's just a prop for the Fiend Randy Orton story. Really. That's what's really going on there. Matt Riddle beats Mustapha Ali via pinfall after the Bro Derek to retain the U.S. title. I thought that was a very good match. Very good match. Riddle's impressing me, man. Every single week I see Matt Riddle, I like it. Mustapha, too. Mustapha Ali is a hell of a wrestler. They worked very well together. Riddle's character, a little goofy, a little too comedic. I'd like him to be a little bit more serious. He could be funny, but he doesn't just need to be funny, you know? He should be more than just funny all the time, just goofy. Mustapha's doing a promo backstage with Retribution. Riddle drives by on his little goofy scooter going vroom vroom like he's a 6-year-old kid. He acts like he's a 6-year-old pothead. I don't understand. 6-year-olds shouldn't be potheads. All right, that's my 2 cents on the matter. I don't know what's wrong with Matt Riddle. I mean, guys that smoke weed don't act like that. I know guys that smoke weed, allegedly. They don't act like that. I don't know what Riddle's problem is. Why's he got to be so goofy? Rob Van Dam didn't act like that. You know what I mean? Rob Van Dam was cool. He was like a guy that smoked weed, but he was jokey but serious. Riddle needs to watch old Rob Van Dam promos from like ECW Van Dam. You know when Van Dam's like in the locker room and he's smoking, but he's talking. He's cocky, but he's keeping it dangerous. He's jokey, but he's telling you he's going to kick your ass too. RVD was very good at that character, and that's why he had the longevity that he had. That's why he's a legend and a Hall of Famer. Riddle needs to be more like RVD and less like, you know, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. A little more serious. RVD pulled it off really well. Angelo wants to know, last time Alexa wrestled in a competitive match, wasn't it against Asuka on Raw like a couple months ago, month and a half ago? Didn't she beat Asuka at one point? That's why I'm like, why isn't Alexa in the title picture? Alexa was like up and down. She beat Asuka at one point, and then she lost it. She was like going through all sorts of different emotions. Remember that match? There was all sorts of weird stuff going on with Alexa. She was like possessed by the Fiend, and then she wasn't. Remember? She was like crying in the match. She had that match with Nikki Cross, too. She had a match with Nikki Cross. I think that was the last match that she had. I mean, she's wrestled time to time, but it's been more to kind of further the character of this Alexa Bliss Fiend thing. Goddamn. What else happened on Raw tonight? Miz and Morrison resume their thing with Bad Bunny. They do a backstage promo with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Miz talking about all his accomplishments. Not impressed by Bad Bunny winning a Grammy. Bad Bunny performed and won at the Grammys last night. Miz, he's like, yeah, Damian Priest, what have you ever done? Bad Bunny may have accomplishments, but what have you done? And Damian Priest is like, well, I may not have the accomplishments that you have, Miz, but I can prove something to you right now. And kind of gets in his face. And Miz and Morrison just walk away. And then R-Truth shows up. R-Truth is dressed like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He thinks it's 316 day, even though it's 315. Tomorrow, Tuesday the 16th, is March 16th, 316 day for Stone Cold. Oh, hell yeah. So get your Stone Cold merch ready for tomorrow. But tonight, it was 315, but Truth, of course, he's always confused. He shows up. He's got a smoking skull belt. He's got all sorts of Stone Cold merch. He's wearing the vest. And he wants to trade some of his stuff to Bad Bunny for the 24/7 title. Truth just wants his baby back. And Bad Bunny accepts it and gives a real championship that he has won in the WWE to Truth for some merch. I mean, it's not even a good business deal, right? You know how much a real championship is worth compared to those, $300 replicas they sell on the net, on the shop.com? Hey, come on, man. What are you doing, Bad Bunny? Why are you just giving away your title? This makes no sense. Why couldn't they have Truth win it from Bunny somehow? Or somebody win it from the Bunny? Miz could have won it from Bad Bunny tonight. Easily. Or Morrison. Easily. And put him down with a guitar. Couldn't Morrison have put Priest down with another guitar or a chair, and then they take the 24/7 title from Bad Bunny, and then next week Truth could have rolled up John Morrison backstage or The Miz and taken the title legitimately because it's still wrestling, even though it's a joke title? Why would you just give it away? There are ways around this. You don't want to beat Bad Bunny. Okay. Well, how about you beat Bad Bunny in a way that builds this match with Miz and Morrison at WrestleMania? So Damian Priest beats Jackson Ryker via pinfall after his, crossroads. I don't even know what else to call it. It's Cody's finish. I don't know what he's doing. Anyways, that's his finish, the crossroads. I think they call it something else, but Damian Priest uses the crossroads as his finish. Squashes Jackson Ryker, which he should. Jackson Ryker, come on. Elias is Jackson's buddy. He attacks Damian Priest after the match. Elias was going to hit Damian Priest with the guitar, but Bad Bunny takes the guitar and stops him. Elias then grabs Bad Bunny and then picks him up, but Priest stops him and then punches Elias a bit, and Elias gets out of the ring. John Morrison comes down the aisle, and he's distracting Damian Priest. Miz comes up from behind, hits Bad Bunny with the guitar, but the camera misses it. We're looking at John Morrison. We pan back into the ring, and Bad Bunny's down, and I think immediately, holy shit, they faked the guitar shot. But no, they didn't fake a guitar shot. They actually hit Bad Bunny, huge star. They actually hit him with a guitar, and they missed it. They had to show it on the replay. They missed it. God damn. Good job, Kevin Dunn. I mean, they know that this guitar shot is coming. They have another monitor with the hard camera seeing it, and they don't switch back in time? I mean, the level of incompetence there is incredible. This is a huge star. He's hosted Saturday Night Live and performed at the Grammys in the last month. He somehow still shows up on your shitty wrestling show every Monday night, holds a joke title that he gives to one of your joke wrestlers that he says he respects so much, is going to work with your shitty Miz and John Morrison at WrestleMania, is trying to elevate no personality Damian Priest trying to make him into somebody that matters, which, like, once Bad Bunny disappears, you think anybody's going to care about Damian Priest? I don't think so. This guy's a massive star. This is the only punishment. You couldn't even roll him up to lose a 24/7 title, but you're going to hit him with a guitar in the middle of the ring. I mean, it wasn't a hard shot. It was a soft shot even for The Miz. I don't even know if the guitar the guitar didn't break, right? I don't think it broke. It's one of the softest guitar shots you'll ever see. Honky Tonk Man is rolling over in his grave, and he's not even dead. That's how bad it was. It was horrible. So they missed it. This is a big spot for a big match with your only celebrity appearing at WrestleMania. And they missed it. And they had to show it in slow-mo on the replay. And you could tell it was bad. What a joke. They missed it. Bad all around. Now, what should have happened tonight is that John Morrison should have come out to distract Damian Priest before Elias attacked. When this match ends, John Morrison comes out. Elias hits the ring. Attacks Damian Priest. Just like he did. But John Morrison is already there. Okay? Bad Bunny can grab the guitar, save Damian Priest from Elias if you want. Damian Priest can go and attack Elias and send him packing. But as soon as he turns around, he's eating a shot from John Morrison. Boom, boom, boom. Damian Priest is down, out of the ring, takes a powder. Here comes Miz. Bad Bunny's looking at Damian Priest. Can't believe what just happened to his friend. Thinks John Morrison is going to fuck him up. Here comes Miz. Boom! Guitar shot on Bad Bunny. John Morrison says, what the fuck? Why don't I take the 24/7 title from him? 1, 2, 3. Miz could even be wearing a referee shirt at this point. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3. They take the 24/7 title from Bunny. You add insult to injury. You have not only dropped Damian Priest, taken him out, dropped Bad Bunny, taken him out, but you've also taken the 24/7 title away from Bad Bunny. Set up to next week. Miz and Morrison are backstage. Miz runs off. Damian Priest scares him. Truth shows up, rolls up Morrison, 1, 2, 3. And, of course, it's even a bigger insult to Bad Bunny because John Morrison is like Miz's sidekick. He's not even Miz. So Miz's sidekick took the title from you. And then you get it back to Truth in a legitimate way by having it go through Morrison and Truth take it from Morrison. And why not? Don't tell me, oh, well, you don't want Bad Bunny taking a pinfall before WrestleMania, or you don't want to have Morrison lose to Truth because that doesn't add up because Morrison's already a joke. Bad Bunny dropping the 24/7 title after taking a guitar shot, that makes sense, especially if he has a big, heavy-grown, strong man like John Morrison over top of him just laying a cover in. Even if he wasn't unconscious from the guitar shot, just a tight cover should keep him down. He's not a muscle-bound bunny. It's very simple to book this stuff, and they just don't get it. Misstep after misstep. So now R-Truth is 24/7 champion. He runs off. He's getting chased by the, Drew Gulaks and whoever's of the world. Whoever they have nothing else for. They'll probably all be in the Andre the Giant 24/7 Battle Royal at this point, right? Whatever the hell they call it. Just give me a call next time when you're trying to figure out how to take the title off Bad Bunny. It's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to do without completely embarrassing the wrestling business. But hey, that's what the WWE seems to look to accomplish on a weekly basis. Bobby beats Sheamus in the main event, hits him with a spear, gets a pinfall. Bobby puts the hurt lock on Sheamus after the match. Drew McIntyre got in the ring and grazed Bobby Lashley with a Claymore kick. Like, didn't touch him. Didn't touch him at all. That was nice. Drew comes in, totally misses Bobby with the kick. Bobby sells it like he died. Bumps, falls out of the ring. And then Sheamus and Drew faced off to close the show. Why? Because they have a match at Fastlane that we're all so excited about. What the hell? What a show tonight on Raw. What a show. People were saying that the guitar shot was taped earlier. So how come they couldn't get it to look better than that? If they taped it, and that's why they cut to Morrison, it was a taped guitar shot and it didn't happen in that moment, how could they not make it look better than what they did? If they had chances to edit and rehearse and do it over, how could they not make it look better than what they had in their final product there? Because what they had at the end, it's a garbage guitar shot. Garbage. Angelo giving the show a 6 on 10. Raw or this show right here? Me or WWE? I think he means Raw, but I don't know. Maybe this show's a 6 on 10. You tell me. Rate Raw and rate this show. Like this show. All right? Like it. Send us a like. Send us a subscription. Become a subscriber of the Ringside Report Network. Costs you nothing. Click the bell so you get notifications every time we're on. Don't forget we're on after AEW Dynamite, Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, right after the show. 11 p.m. Eastern after Raw on Mondays. 10 p.m. Eastern after Dynamite on Wednesdays. 10 p.m. Eastern after SmackDown on Friday nights. And, of course, we'll be on this Sunday night after WWE Fastlane as well. And Ringside Report MMA every Thursday night, 8 p.m. We break down everything in the world of UFC and beyond. Myself, Freddie, and AJ. So this Friday night, we're going to be doing the preview for WWE Fastlane. Oh, we saw Green Slime tonight. A tag team that isn't a tag team getting a title shot at WrestleMania. A man who's a bunny give his WWE Championship belt back to another man. Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton booked as a match for Fastlane for some reason. It's a pretty ridiculous show, right? Some decent wrestling matches. You know, solid matches. New Day, Shelton, Cedric, Riddle, Mustapha. They did good work. They did good work. Shane, Braun, Miz, Morrison. Not so good. Not as good. Green Slime. Nice to see Asuka back, though. Good to see Asuka. I wonder where Charlotte is. Charlotte is now a mystery. I'm now wondering, is something up with Charlotte? That's my takeaway from tonight, is where the hell is Charlotte? Why wasn't she on Raw? Good to see Asuka back, but now Charlotte Flair has disappeared. And Reginald, too. Does Reginald have the Rona? Does Reggie got the Rona? Big question. And WWE, apparently, they're looking to draw 45,000 people per night at WrestleMania, which I think is like half capacity for the stadium. So at one point they were going to say 25,000, and now they're saying like 45,000. It's they're upping it. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but the UFC, they're going to be doing a show. When is it? UFC 261, I think. Our next pay-per-view. Yeah, 261 is going to be April something. And it's going to be in Jacksonville, Florida, in an arena at full capacity, which is surprising. April 24th, UFC is back, full capacity, 2 title fights. They're doing UFC 261 in Jacksonville, Florida at the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. And it's 15,000 capacity, and they're going sold out. They're going to sell it out. Or die trying. Or die succeeding. I don't know. Some people might die in the success. Who knows? I wish them the best. But WWE is looking to put 45,000 people into a football stadium in Tampa, Florida on April 10th and 11th. So they're looking to fit 45, on each night, not combined. So it'd be 90,000 people combined attendance for both nights of WrestleMania, which is, decent money for the WWE. I wonder if they can charge a premium because of social distance seating. Who knows? But things are opening back up. UFC is going back full capacity April 24th, and they're not going to look back. Like, once the UFC starts doing one show with a full arena, they're only going to be doing full arena shows. So April 24th, UFC back in business in a semi-normal way. Like, they can't tour the world because there'll still be a lot of places where they can't go, but they're back. And WWE, last week when they announced that they were going to sell tickets, they said, it's going to be 25,000 seats. And now we're hearing it's going to be 45,000. So it's going up in there. I don't know. 2 out of the 4 of my son's grandparents have been vaccinated against COVID-19. So that's a step in the right direction, right? Well, they got one part of the vaccine. I think they have to get a second one, but people I know are getting vaccinated. Family members are getting vaccinated. UFC's going back. Maybe Johnny North will be sitting next to me for WrestleMania. I hope so. I don't know. I think the Ringside Report team might get back together soon. It would be nice to see our friends again, right? It would be nice to get back to normal. Gives me hope. Gives me hope for the future to see the UFC going back to full attendance, WWE, adding an extra 20,000 to the WrestleMania attendance in a week. They added that, and I think tickets go on sale tomorrow. So I'm not going, but I'm tempted to go. I would love to go. Sounds crazy. Although not this year's WrestleMania. What am I saying? It looks like shit. I wouldn't spend any kind of money to go to that. Looks like a terrible WrestleMania this year. But we'll be recapping it for you here on the Ringside Report Network. Hopefully they give us something. Right? Hoping for something with Daniel Bryan. All right, everybody. We appreciate you. I'll be back here on Wednesday night with my main man, Johnny North. And Glenn McKenzie will be back from the team. Glenn, of course, is a great black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He competes all over the world. He's got a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school as well, and he's a big pro wrestling fan. So he joins Johnny and I on Wednesday nights from time to time to talk AEW Dynamite. Glenn will be back Wednesday with us, 10 p.m., right after AEW Dynamite to recap that show. Thank you to Angelo Contagonis, Patrick C. Hamilton, and who else did I see tonight? Douglas Hepburn, all the members of the channel. We appreciate you. Sign up to become a member of the Ringside Report team. Become a member on the YouTube channel. You could go to donate.ringsidereport.net. You could also buy the merch over at merch.ringsidereport.net. Find everything we do over at ringsidereport.net. Easy enough, right? Thank you to everybody. Shout out to Lorne. Good night, Lorne. Good night, Mako. Mako says, look out for Glenn. I'm all right with Glenn. Glenn's okay. Bob Cote, Angelo, all the regulars, we appreciate you, and all the new faces as well. DJ Bourne, Patrick Hamilton. We appreciate you, Donovan. Everybody on the chat, thank you for watching on Twitch, on Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Dave. We'll see you again Wednesday night.